2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's recording. Hey everybody. Baker acted. This is the only way I know that these places where where have you ever been Baker acted and or ex parte'd either by a doctor or by a family member, or if you voluntarily go to one of these places where they do a mental examination, a mental evaluation of yourself, of your mental state, whether it be in a hospital facility or whether it be in a clinic, whatever, where it's basically a prison. You're in jail, you're in prison. Some more better accommodated than others, but you're in prison. And what do they have you do there? Nothing. You're basically just destroying, wasting time. You're neglected. You're being there, you're neglected, and you're being forced to take medicine. And if you don't comply, they can either go to a court and try to force you by a court order to take the drugs, the narcotics, for things that you don't even need it for, or they'll just keep, so they can keep you there longer than the 72 hours, which is 3 days. Now, I have been to 2 of these places within a short amount of time. First time in my life ever. I'm 38. And these places, these poor people who are still stuck in there, and the ones who have to go there, people as young as 19 years old I've seen there, that I've gotten to know, and 22, 24, 30, of all ages, who, now I don't know their story. I don't know if now they're, I don't know them. I don't know their history. I don't know if they deserve to be there. They don't. But I can definitely tell you that I might not know if they're supposed to be there, if the punishment suits the crime, if you will. But that definitely is not the answer. That's definitely not the answer. Being neglected there, it's a punishment. It's a cruel punishment, mental punishment. Yes, you're fed there the 3 meals a day, and you get your snacks throughout the day. But it's a prison. You're imprisoned without committing a crime, without being sentenced, without due process to see whether it's true that you should be there. This is just based on one person, not a team of people, and they all go along. And the people that work there, the staff members, yes, some of them are nice and respectful, but to be a part of that system, the way they're treating these human beings, the way I've been, and I did my best while I was there. I tried to be as helpful as I could to other patients who were mentally just really not as, just had a different types of people who maybe some are a little bit weaker with their mind, not as smart as others, because there's always somebody smarter than us, right? We might be smarter than some, but we're not as smart as others. So this is just the wrong way, man. And I'm here by myself in where I'm renting now. I'll show you. This is where I live now. I'm renting a 1-bedroom, private bathroom. It's a closet. It's a big closet. Nice size. It's my bed. It's the desk. And I have outside this window, I have a refrigerator and a place where to sit down and eat. It's an efficiency. So I'm renting the room and the bathroom. There's no kitchen to cook or anything. So that's that. So my experience, I'm just alone with my thoughts right now, and I just thought I'd share this with whoever wants to look at it. If it helps you, that's the whole point. If it's some insight into a subject matter that you might be curious about, that's the whole point. And great. If not, then I apologize. I mean no harm in it to anyone. Just that when is it all gonna stop? What's going on in this? I did not expect the world to be like this when I grew up, when I was a little kid. I guess, I don't know, maybe I made all the wrong choices. Maybe, but I'm glad I am fortunate to have the insight into these places and the experience. I am glad of that, because or else how would I know other than osmosis, right? But I made some great people there. I made some friends there. We exchanged numbers. I actually got in touch with one of them. His name is Mike. You know, this was my fuel. This was my fuel that kept me going in there. This is my fuel what kept me from going insane in there, if you want to use that word. With the friends that you make there, the bond that you make there, if you're lucky, and you know, because this is the only, you're in prison. This is the only people you're around all day, 24/7. And believe me, time goes really slow when you're in prison, real slow. You feel every second. So if you're out there, if you're having life problems, if you're having problems where you don't want to live anymore, or you want to commit suicide, or you don't want to live anymore, and you want to try to hurt yourself by suicide, brother, sister, I understand you. Keep it to yourself. Don't tell no doctors. Don't tell anybody, because they'll use it against you. They'll Baker Act you. They'll ex parte you, or they will Baker Act you. Keep that to yourself, unless you want to be forcibly, involuntarily institutionalized in a mental facility to check to make sure you're okay, and you're not gonna like it, and you're not gonna like to be force-fed drugs that you don't need to dumb you down, so that you're basically like a zombie, like that. All right, you don't want that. Better yourself. Try to just be around people who think like you. And if there's a God out there, or gods, or whatever that created, or wherever we came from, whatever is controlling this, please have mercy on us. Have mercy on us, please. I mean, only people who truly know what it's like to not want to be alive know what I'm talking about. And the people that don't know it, please don't judge us. Don't judge us, because you don't understand what it's like. Try to understand the situation before you judge it. Judge it if you want, fine, of course, that's part of nature. But first try to understand it before you judge it. So if you're thinking about killing yourself, or you're thinking about you don't want to be alive anymore, you're thinking about it, it's too hard to keep going on, I understand. Just try to find a way. People who think like you, try to find a way out, so that you don't have to resort to doing that. And if you do that, I love you, and I hope you go to a better place. But I'm not going to tell you not to, because I understand you. But hopefully there's people out there that just start helping. The world has to change, has to start somewhere. Some seed has to be planted, so that it can, you know, you reap what you sow. So if you plant the good seed, so we can have the great, delicious, fruitful apple tree or orange tree. So if you're thinking like you don't want to live anymore, you want to commit suicide or anything like that, be around the people who think like you. Be around people who want to treat you nice and be respectful, and who you know, try to form our own little world, so that we don't have to think like that, so we don't have to resort to hurting ourselves, especially if you fail and then you're not successful, and then you get sent to a mental institution or something like that, or an asylum. Please try to find a way out to help yourself, and don't count on someone else to try to help you, because if it's not the right person, you could be making the biggest mistake of your life by confessing what you're really thinking in here, because they won't understand what's in here. And drugs, no amount of drugs, there's no special drug out there that can come in here and take away all that bad memory, all that stuff that happened that's making you think like that. That's nonsense. That's garbage. These doctors are criminals. These so-called doctors are criminals against humanity, committing crimes every day with what they're doing. And I hope someday that stops, so that the true healing can begin. I love you. If you like what I'm saying, please let me know in the comments below. If you don't like what I'm saying, I apologize, and please don't take it personal. This is just to people who are thinking like me, who are like-minded. And if you want me to talk about any other subjects, whether it be similar or along this line or anything, please let me know in the comments below. And if you like what I have to say, please show me a like, so that I know that you are liking this. And if you don't want to do any of the above, then you don't have to. It's fine. Just this is to whoever who if this is beneficial to anybody, be careful of that. You can be Baker acted in the state of Florida. You can be Baker acted by a family member. Doesn't matter who it is, as long as they live with you. And if they don't like, for whatever reason, they don't have to show proof or nothing. You can be Baker acted based off of he say, she say. No proof, you can be Baker acted. Keep that in mind. That's a lot of power another person has over you. And who are making these laws? Who are making these laws that you can do that to somebody? That you can have somebody Baker acted just like that, forcibly removed, forcibly put into a mental facility. All right. I love everyone. Protect the animals. Protect our fellow friends. Protect the earth. Take care. Good night. Thanks for listening to me. If it's helpful, that's the whole point. Thumbs up. Love you. Bye. Good night.